Boston. And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, as we see the glorious nighttime view of the Merit Royal Diamond Hotel here in northern Cyprus. And it really is business time now, down to 13 players. So just 4 to go, Warbs, until we reach that destined final table where 9 people will compete tomorrow for $1 million up top. Quick look at the DTD live table. David Smolka, who's impressed me throughout today's coverage. 45 big blinds for him. Good for 36 million in chips. Razvan Sabau, there's always someone who kind of slips through the net. I don't recall seeing too much of him. He's got 31 million. Haredi been in there throughout, 30 mil for him. Tamasian played very solid overall, also around the 30 million chip mark. Mavro Mustakis, 18 million for him. And Kaduri with work to do on the short stack. And over at the main Onyx table, Modena, 55 million for him. We've seen him applying aggression, mostly in the correct spots, some well-timed shutdowns. He's in a good flow. Thaler and Chung, both neck and neck, second in chips. Then we have Hashim, a boss. I love him, like to watch him. Langar, then in fifth in chips. And Christoforu, you never know quite what he's going to do, Steve. And Kongya Zhang on the short stack. 9 big blinds. Work to be done.
Yeah, you said it, Picasso.
So what's been happening in the last... Oh,
it's business time. That was beautiful.
That was nice.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing Medina and Tim Chung both on the same table.
Okay.
Both been taking the spots pre-flop, which I like. You know, we're only a few away from the final table. Everyone wants to make the FT, whatever tournament it is, let alone one. It's got $1 million up top. So it'd be interesting to see if they stay out of each other's ways or do maybe have a big clash.
Yeah, it's going to be intriguing to see, isn't it? We always say at Merit that all bets are off, so to speak. People tend to not really slow down. You know, sometimes people will say, oh, there's 13 left. I've got to tighten up a few pips of my opening range. Maybe don't defend as much, but people tend to just go for it in this building.
Yeah, I definitely like how Medena's been playing.
Yeah.
Thaler had a big gift. I don't know if you saw that.
I didn't catch that one.
Ace King off opens button, he peels Ace Jack off, and he just check raises Jack 9-3 rainbow.
Okay.
And Ace King just piles 40 big blinds. Insane hands.
Oofed.
Yeah.
Optimistic. I guess you can
huge
fold
pot.
some stuff out, not folding that.
Sure, yeah.
Look at this. We did say Christoforu. You never know quite what you're going to get with him. Opening here
Yeah, just
with 6 high into a short stack.
all of a sudden, just with the 2.5x open, he is very unpredictable, isn't he? He just kind of picks hands and says, you know what, I'm just gonna win this hand.
He's like a bit of a vibes guy, isn't he? And this is a bit of a... It's risky, right? Opening into what? 6.5 bigs deep. If Zhang finds a hand and goes with it, we're going to have to call.
Yeah, he doesn't need to be opening that big either. He can just open 1.6, 1.8. But
Sure.
yeah, he's got it through. Maybe on the break decided wants to be a bit more aggressive.
He's a lot of fun to watch. I'll give him that. We saw the cold 4-bet earlier with the King 4 offsuit.
Yeah, incredible hand.
Likes to battle. I'm sure he 3-bet earlier in the week with 8-4 suited and the like. Back to DTD Live we go then.
He's done that a couple of times, yeah, with Total Trash.
Yeah. So Smolka, somebody I've had my eye on, was saying earlier in the broadcast I fancied them to make a run.
He did, yeah.
And he's starting to pick up the aggression here, of course. Not sure if this is the 6 or 7-handed table, but Jack 10 off now becoming more of a reasonable open.
Yeah, agree.
Tamasian just taking a little time now. Obviously, players incentivized to play as few hands as possible. Warbs.
Yeah, Haredi's been playing great all day.
Yeah.
He's not been turning down many spots, and it looks like he is going to go for this one.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah, I love
Very reasonable candidate against a player who's going to be too wide now then. Mavro Mustakis. Cold finds ace-queen on the button.
Yeah, you're not loving this.
So, like, this is kind of one of those, isn't it, where kind of villain dependent, right?
Sure.
So, like, we know that Haredi knows that Smolka's going to be opening wide. Yeah. So, as a result, Haredi can certainly widen his 3-bet range. And as a consequence, do we think ace-queen? Let's just go.
Yeah, I do definitely put this in.
Yeah, I mean, you can just pick up 7 million here, right? Even more, 8.1.
That's the thing,
we get it through.
That's the thing.
Which is like a 50% chip up. I really like it.
You get full fold, you pick up 8 million. It is huge at this stage.
it's kind of one of those, isn't it, where against these two guys, I think it's quite reasonable just to send this, whereas potentially against another lineup of players, Warbs, we might panic and think, oh no, I don't want to do it.
Yeah, sure.
I think that's reasonable.
You're definitely looking for fold, and if you do run into it, then so be it. But you've got to be aware, as you said, Hereddy's going to be getting after it.
I think something that's nice here is that if Smolka has something like 10s and has opened it and faces 3-bet and cold 4-bet all in, probably folds.
Yeah,
right? So you can get some better hands to fold.
Yeah,
very nice result.
Just the 8 mil pick up there, yeah.
Yeah, right. Just up to 26 million non-showdown. That's a nice way to return post-break. It didn't take long to make that decision either. No time banks burnt or the like, so knew where he was.
Yeah.
So that is the 6-handed table, right? Also, just
I think that was the 5-handed, wasn't it?
I don't know, 6 and 7, isn't it? 13 left.
That's very good math. Yeah. I just count these 5 people.
You're okay, mate. I actually called the action earlier on today, and there was already a flop out, and I was like, "Why is this guy?"
I was there.
3-betting. All good. We styled it out. Now then. Cristoforu versus Modena. Looks like open from Cristoforu. He's had his Weetabix on the break, getting after it.
He has, hasn't he? Yeah. It's like a bit of a new strategy, maybe. Maybe he's thinking people are going to tighten up before the FT.
We did say, right, will people tighten? Apparently not. This is very out of line once more from Cristoforu.
He has begun with check as well. I wonder if he's planning to check call or check raise here.
I like check. I think, you know, Modena... He's going to stab a lot in position, going to connect with this board pretty well. And the times he doesn't with the sort of pocket 6s, 8s and 9s type hands, we can get them to fold later anyway.
Sure.
And we do give ourselves that option now, Warbs, of whether to check raise or whether to call. Obviously, folding out of the question.
Yeah, he's a bit of a wild card. I'm going to try and predict what he's going to do.
And there you go.
I was going to say he's going to check raise to an amount that commits himself. And did he just ship it, or did he make it 10
Yeah, he
mil?
made it 10 mil. And
yeah, he's sort of gone all in without going all in, hasn't he?
That's kind of one of those annoying ones from Modena. We have a pretty nice hand to start bluffing. We've got the ace of clubs. We can potentially barrel off, but
it's pretty wild, though.
It is wild. It is.
13 left, and we're just
I mean, that's Cristoforu, right? He's just going to go for the win.
Yeah.
As we see here, pair versus pair, button versus big blind. Smolka content to defend with the 3s. Sabao. 2 10s in the hand, Warbs, no spade.
Yeah, just going back to that previous one quickly. If he does make the FT, everyone's going to be well aware because they're going to watch at least part of the stream.
Right.
And, you know, I mean, the sort of jig's going to kind of be up for the FT, so you might have to watch that one.
Don't you think that's kind of fun though? Because then he knows that people have watched it, so he can play even crazier now. Right, and they'll think, well, he's tightened up.
Yeah.
Because I've seen what he's up to.
Sure. A leopard never changes his spots, though, and I feel like he will go for it at some point. But no, we move. Looks like he's going to peel.
Yeah.
Just a little bit
makes
of a
sense.
delay in the graphics there, so just bring you back to speed.
Yeah, it makes sense for Smolka to call 1 here. Pocket 3s can still be good against a very wide button C-bet range. Board pairs 6s.
Yeah, definitely. It's a nice turn for 3s as well.
I wonder if he will lead. Of course, this is one of the most in vogue things in modern poker. Not surprised to see him reaching.
Yeah, you called it.
Yeah, just try and kind of fold out the kind of queen-jack offsuits and stuff, right, that have C-bet.
Yeah, deny the equity.
Yeah.
And he figures he's got more 6x than the button does.
Absolutely, and I think that's reasonable to assume.
Yeah, definitely. Especially at this point as well.
Right.
With 13 left, I feel like maybe a lot of the 6x that he might open on the button, he's just gonna fold now.
That's a great point. Yeah, like may not open a sort of 10-6 suited that he could open in the middle stages of a tournament.
Yeah, even 6-7 suited, 6-8 suited, you know, 6-5 suited, he might just now fold. So
yeah, Sabao gonna stick around. Makes sense. Also, we can still beat, you know, the 3-4s, 4-5s of the world, the spade combos, some of the deuce suited deuce X. All of these hands could be incentivized to lead for a small size. Now Smolka, Warbs, with the decision, do we need to turn this into... This is where it gets kind of murky, right? Because we can just be ahead of some kind of ace highs, some flush draws.
Sure.
But do we need to bluff? Like, it's hard to fold out something as strong as a king, right? But
Yeah,
do
I
we
don't
have to
think,
bluff a pair off?
I don't think you bluff here. I think you just take your,
Yeah,
take your showdown.
I think so too.
Sabao here's probably a little bit confused where he is, and I wouldn't be surprised if he just checks back here, which he does.
Not going to bluff this one. I'm going to be thrilled to see small cut table threes.
Yep.
Yeah, I always find those spots a little confusing. When we do stab turn and get called, it's like, right, well, I can still win, so I don't really want to bluff, but also you feel that you're going to be behind a good amount of the time on the river. It's tricky.
Yeah.
Great result for Sabao, 38 million.
He's just sort of quietly creeped up, Sabao. He's 38 million kind of out of nowhere.
Yeah, back to the Onyx we go. Hashim opens to 1.7 million. Thaler with the decision point. Do we 3-bet? Do we call? Lands on 3-bet.
Yeah, nice. He's gone for the 4x 3-bet.
It's one of these, right? Short-handed lineup, 30 effective. You know, just 3-bet, and if our opponent sticks it in, just kind of have to run it for 30, right?
Yeah, he's got to.
Yeah, very reasonable for Hashim, of course. Just get out of the way. Thaler's one that's impressed you, Warbs, and noticed that he's really been technically very strong.
He's been grinding. He's picked a couple of 3-bet bluff spots. Obviously had that pretty big gift for the ace-jack, ace-king, as I was saying to you on the jack-high board before. But yeah, he's played well. He was deep in the 2022 MPP main event.
And as we hop back over to DTD Live, open from Sabao, has 10s again. This time from under the gun. Mavro Moustakis defending. 2 Broadway cards. Queen 8 deuce, 2 hearts. Sabao still best. Facing that 1 over card.
Did he keep those 10s? Or did he,
yeah, I don't know. Respect immediately shown from Mavro Moustakis.
Yeah, I like it.
One of those, isn't it? We do have a potential continue with Jack of Hearts in hand, blocking backdoor spades in an overcard, but
sure.
Maybe just thinking this is not the man I want to start running bluffs against.
Yeah, I think he thinks his pre-flop range is a bit tighter than some other players on the table.
Now then, you were asking for Chung versus Modena. Well, first round, here it comes. Modena opens. Tim defends with pocket 5s through to the King 8 board. Very small, 800k, 20%er from the Italian. Tim with the decision.
Yeah, I wonder if he's going to proceed with check call or check raise here. Maybe this is an indication whether he wants to get involved or stay away from the only stack that covers him on the table. He does go with check call. It's a nice turn for him.
Certainly never folding, of course, out of the question, facing such a small bet. And figures to be good. A good large amount of the time. Now Modena, just ace-6 high. These ones aren't fun, Warbs, to try and
no, they're not at all,
barreling.
But I imagine he is going to check, and you know there are some hands like 9-10 of clubs in the back door, you know, spades and diamond hands that Tim can definitely appeal to that size on the flop. He does have the best hands.
And gets there with the innocuous looking 6 of clubs.
Yeah, for the time. It's a pretty tilting river, isn't it, for Tim? I wonder if he does block here.
Yeah, it feels to me like a potential one big blind spot. I could be off on this, but I could see a bet as small as 800k from Tim if he elects to bet. Let's see.
I'm with you, yeah. He's gone slightly bigger, but you're kind of right. And snap call, obviously, from Modena.
Yeah, it's one of those. Just around about 20%. That's a great river from Modena. Every pot, of course, important, and nice for him to put some daylight between him and Chung.
Yeah, well played from both there, I think.
Yeah.
Sometimes there aren't fireworks, you know. Sometimes you can just have a fairly normal pot. We haven't seen many of those today. It's been pretty crazy.
I know, we'd be getting greedy, I think. It's been chaotic. It's been a real treat. As we see Mavro Moustakis limping from the small here with Jack 8 of clubs over at DTD Live. shade under 30 bigs to start. Sabao with the 7-6 off, checks back. Both catch a piece on the 8-6-3 rainbow. Mavro Moustakis, best of it. With that top pair.
Yeah, you'd expect Mavro, I'm going to call him, to start betting here.
That's a good nickname, isn't it?
Hey, Mavro.
Oh, what's going on, Mav?
Sabao's definitely not going anywhere now. I like his size, he's gone half
Same.
pot.
I'm a fan. You don't want to give like 2 overcards in the back door like a really easy continue, right? Let's charge the kind of 6x, worse 8x of the world in the draws. A decent price.
You can become you can become a bit lazy in these spots and just sort of see bet 1 big blind every time. But yeah, I do like his size.
Think of this? Intriguing.
It feels a bit like raise to find out where you are type vibe.
Yeah,
not really sure about it. You know, it's.
I'm not a fan in general. It's okay. There can be some equity denial, I suppose, against the sort of Jack 9s of the world, right? That are just taken off. But then all of a sudden we just inflate the pot, right?
Yeah, and versus half pot c bet as well.
Right.
You know, all of a sudden you are bloating this pot kind of needlessly, but.
I would agree with that. I'd prefer just to call in position. We'll see.
It is going to work a lot of the time when he does have the best hand, but in a situation when you don't, you know, you've got 10 million there in the middle, and now you're a bit lost now.
Sure. 10 of spades on the turn then. Tricky spot for Sabao. He's got to now try and navigate.
He's got to check right now, surely.
I mean, if we bet, we're bluffing, right?
Yeah.
So.
It's like, do you really want to start trying to get an 8 to fold?
Oh, he hasn't checked yet. Does now. Makes sense. And this is a tricky card for him. 8 of diamonds completes the board.
Yeah, it's a clear value bet now for Mavro. And will Sabao get sticky?
I wonder what he makes of the flop raise in terms of, like, are the hands that raise sort of semi-bluffs with a 4-5, like a 5-7? It seems hard to get value, is what I'm saying here.
Right,
as
sure.
Moustakis.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really quite like this. Maybe just something like a 3 or a weak 6 that did raise. We know they're not going to call a huge bet too often.
Yeah.
This is going to be confusing for Sabao.
I was just kind of thinking he could actually have some 10x. I know 10x will probably continue on the turn, but you know, to raise that flop, I just.
Sure, like a 10-7, right? Something like that wants to control the turn.
Even just like a random 10-5, 10-5 suited or something, but he does pay it off, and can't really blame him as played.
Really nice.
For that price.
Yeah, really nice size and choice in my eyes from Mavro Moustakis. A wonderful start for him.
But just as you were alluding to, Andrew, every pot is so big, and he's just kind of needlessly made that a 13 million pot.
Right, like we could have potentially even bluffed down the streets here, right? Like it's not like when we just call in position that we have to, you know, get to showdown. Like there's going to be some boards that we either improve or get to bluff.
Yeah.
And Mavro Moustakis closing in on the table chip lead as we move over to Onyx, and Zhang just in time finds a pretty strong hand, 6 big blinds deep.
Yeah, just got to go with this.
You're thrilled to look at it from under the gun. About to be forced to pay 1.6 million. Looking to either get this one through or find a double. Should be getting it through.
Yep.
I'm a big fan of Hashim, by the way. We watched him earlier in the week, and he plays some really kind of non-standard lines. He'll flat call some really strong hands and do some funky stuff with some weaker ones. He ducks and dives.
Zhang has just gone from 4.8 to 6.8 million there.
That makes such a big
just by getting it through.
So as we approach the wee small hours here, final look at the schedule. And yeah, this is, of course, the main event day 3. We're going to play it down either to the final table, guys, or the final 2 levels of the night. Whichever comes sooner. Then tomorrow, myself, Steve, and Jay will be taking you through all day long, the main event final day, through to crowning a champion who takes down the title, and of course, $1 million for first. It's exciting, right? $1 million, 13
It really
left.
is. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to doing the FT tomorrow.
Yeah. Now then, Christoforou sticking with this 2.5x sizing, which is kind of interesting to me. I wonder what sparked the adjustment. And Tim, with a very strong King-Queen of clubs, one seat over on the button.
I wonder if he's going to go after it here or just call.
It feels pretty mandatory to me to just call this one.
I agree, yeah.
Like, you don't want to 3-bet fold it. It's a bit of a disaster if Christoforou jams. We've got position. We're going to have a bunch of his hands crushed.
Yeah, we've just seen King Deuce of clubs as well, where he's basically just rip the flop. So
right.
Maybe a bit less comfortable than Tim is on sort of playing flops and down the streets.
I would agree with that.
So there could be some interesting developments here. Zhang with no decision.
Yeah, just taking a little time. Do we have any ladders, Warbs? Any ladders about to be found?
What are we on? 13 left.
13 left.
Just have a
You
look
have
here.
about 35?
Yeah.
So
we are on a ladder, yeah. We're 42k at the moment, and the next ladder is 51.5.
Right, so 9,000 to be made just by outlasting one more player.
Yeah.
Off to the 10-3 deuce rainbow here. Christoforou starts with check. Pretty awkward one for Tim. No club on board.
Yeah, I think one club he'd definitely start betting. He still might, but
yeah,
one club I think he definitely starts bluffing there.
Yeah, does go check. 8 of clubs on the turn. One of these spots where both players kind of have a smidgen of showdown, but probably feel they don't very often, right? Seems reasonable to me. Christoforou is going to fire.
I do wonder versus this size whether Tim's going to do something.
It's just hard, right? I mean, well, I guess we can rep some showdown value type stuff. I mean,
yeah, just that 1.8 size, it just does not scream a good hand to me at all.
I would agree with that. The problem is, what really good hands can we rep? Like,
yeah.
It feels like we probably start stabbing the flop with our pocket pairs.
Sure.
All of our 10x.
Sure. I was saying to Jay in the last one, just to feel like with 13 left, there's a lot of spots you can kind of just go for it, and yeah, you're not repping much.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah, it kind of doesn't matter at this point.
Yeah, okay.
You know what I mean? Because people just don't want to stick it in with nothing, and you know it's so close to the FT, and just think, you know, why did I do that?
Sure.
So, yeah, usually there I'm always folding, but just to that side, I'd just be very tempted just to go for it.
It did seem a little on the weak side, but gets the job done. So on we go. Langar here. 8-9 of diamonds from under the gun. 30 big blinds to start. Is reaching. We haven't really seen anybody decline an open yet, right? We were talking about, will people tighten up? I think folding here could be reasonable.
Yeah,
it's
definitely.
the chip leader in the big.
Yeah, I'm definitely letting this one go.
Yeah.
To be honest with you.
Just about.
It's just a bit of an awkward stack you play, isn't it? And as you say, the chip leader, big blind.
Sure. It does decide to take it, and Zhang, rightly so here, trying to run the clock down as much as she can.
Yeah. It's also a little bit annoying if the small blind shoves and you are priced in now, aren't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, interesting which line Medina goes with here versus under the gun 30 bigs.
I feel like instinctively I like call best.
I think so.
Just keeping stuff we beat, have a strong hand.
I think so, yeah.
You obviously couldn't fault him for 3-bet, but I like this.
Yeah,
I think
I do
this
as
is
well,
a shrewd choice.
Yeah.
You know, Langar, when he does have the sort of ace-9 through ace-jacks of the world, will always fold to 3-bet. Nice to keep them in.
Yeah.
Off to the king, queen, jack board. 2 clubs.
I think I potentially could get himself in some trouble and some runouts.
Is the classic situation, isn't it, Warbs? This is our board, so to speak. And let's start bluffing. You're not thrilled. You wouldn't mind the turbo fold from the
Yeah.
6-7 of hearts here and move on with life.
You just hate this is versus chip leader as well.
Quick call from Medina, understandably so.
You know, on a brick turn now, this is big blind range. Do you just keep doing it?
Very hard to pull the trigger now on the 7 of clubs.
Yeah, I think it's actually a good card for him in terms of he probably will give up. You know, the offsuit deuce 3, 4, maybe he does carry on, but there's just so many pair and one club hands. I wouldn't be firing the second barrel here.
Yeah, you are kind of, I mean, on the positive side, of course, when we do fire, you know, a hand like a king-8 of spades is just in a horrible spot right straight away. So you can target a bunch of the 1 pairs, but I'm with you. This is really, really tough.
Yeah, and even the king-8 of spade isn't folding turn, so you do have to be firing 3, and you can just have all the flushes as well. So it's just, yeah, I think it's a good give up.
I agree with that. It does give it up. Now Modena, interesting one for him. I mean, Langar can still have strong hands, right? The pot control turn can have a king for sure. Whether we want to check and induce some bluffs might be the way to go here. It kind of feels like when you block, it's hard to get called by worse, right? Maybe like a queen 10 suited.
Yeah, I think I prefer check. He can still have a lot of king X that he's just checked back on the.
I think so too. And you can induce some bluffs here by hands that have just given up and may feel compelled if you give them the opportunity. Yeah, it does give it up, and don't mind this from Langar. Seems pretty reasonable. Like if you bet river, you sort of are repping these ace king no club, king 10 no club.
Yeah, sort of 1 pair hands. And you have seen Modena sort of get after it when someone is repping just 1 pair on the river. He can just put you under it.
It can check raise right too, and then you're really struggling. Yeah. You do have those hands.
He'd have quite a good candidate there, actually, wouldn't he? Just
absolutely
to turn his queen into a bluff.
Right, back to DTD Live. Heredi, another one who's impressed you today. Limps in from the small. Both players with very nice holdings, blind on blind. And I like this from Mavromustakis.
Yep.
Makes sense. We've got position. No need to inflate this one with a very playable hand. Off to the queen 8-4 diamond board. King high only for Heredi. Gut shot and flush draws. Mavromustakis.
Yeah, I imagine he's going to start with a 1 big blind. A blind bet. Or is he going to go for that?
He agrees with you.
Yeah.
Like it. This is interesting. I thought that, you know, you don't often fold, but this one, not a fun one to continue with, Warbs.
I think it's okay.
Oh,
it's a bad turn for him, but I think it's
told
okay,
you, should have folded.
You obviously just beat, you know, the 5,
no,
6,
I know
5, 7, and 8-4.
One of those, right? Just like a bottom of range sticky one.
Sure.
It's gonna get him in trouble.
I'm sure we're gonna see a much bigger size now. Does he go with half? Just over half.
And this is problematic for Heredi.
Yep, he's in trouble here, isn't he? Especially on a brick river when he does check call turn.
Always call in turn and deciding. Immediately the cogs are turning. Okay, what can I beat? And it's the normal ones are the Warbs 5, 6, 6, 7, 9, 10, Jack 10 with 1 diamond.
Yeah, and Mavro doesn't really have many king X, so he's kind of repping 2 pair plus here, isn't he? Because he's not going to be value betting a queen on the river. And 2 pair plus is very hard to have in Texas Hold'em, especially blind on blind v blind. So
absolutely,
this is a disaster river for Heredi.
Yeah, this is going to be a big test. We'll see what sizing Mavromustakis lands on.
Yeah, I guess the 5-7 did get there, but this is a really tough fold.
Oof, chunky, 7 mil.
7 into 9.
So always intriguing these spots. He has used the size Warbs that says, I mean, is 2 pair even like an 8-4? Does it go 7 million?
I think it does. No,
you think it still does? Blind on blind, right?
Yeah, I think so. But yeah, he can't obviously just have the 1 pair queen here. And doesn't have many king X.
Yeah, I'd imagine a bunch of these time banks are about to be burned. Critical moment.
It's a really tough spot. I don't think I'm folding, to be honest. So if he does get away, I will tap the table.
Yeah, this is tough. Just hoping your opponent has one of those sort of 9-10, 7-9 with one diamond, right? Like sometimes these hands will stab one big blind flop and feel compelled to take off. Really makes this quite very tough.
Yeah.
There are going to be a bunch of draws with one diamond in them, typically, that have missed. But this is nasty business with just top pair. Facing a triple barrel. Yeah. 13 left, $1 million for the win. Can we land on the right decision? Unfortunately, we can't. Yeah. And it's a huge swing in favor of Mavro Moustakis.
I'm not folding there, so I can't begrudge him.
Oh, it's a very difficult fold. Once we get there, is played very under-rep top pair.
Yeah, it's a big pot, 23 million, big swing in Mavro's favor.
Yeah, and what a start he's had to this level. Gone from, I believe, 18 million when he called for jam the ace queen. So he's 26 million in profit since then. He's going to be feeling it.
One tap pair and things can go pear-shaped, can't they?
Absolutely, they can. Really the first sort of turbulence I've seen for Hedley. Like, it's the first pot, it's a substantial one I've seen him lose.
Yeah, things have been going well for him. That's tough.
That's a tough spot.
Christopher continuing with this 2.5x open new strategy, let's call it, because he wasn't doing this before, was he?
Yeah, I wonder what the players make of it, because I can't say I'm a huge fan. I guess it puts pressure on defense, and also sometimes people will wake up with a hand that they want to 3-bet, and like this does happen sometimes, right? Maybe less so against 2.5x, but when people start to 3x and you have a ace-10 off and want to 3-bet, all of a sudden you have to make it, right, 9.5 mil instead of 6 mil or 7 mil when they min.
Ooh,
now then.
Spot, yeah.
Ace-queen for Modena.
I think we can just do a lot of calling here on the button.
I think that would be the standard way to proceed.
Yeah.
It's funny because maybe 5-10 years ago, I think ace-queen you would typically 3-bet way more than you would peel.
Yeah, definitely. Has gone with 3-bet though. And I'm very interested to see what happens here.
Yeah, we know Christopher is never folding. And there you go.
Oh, just the snap all in, yeah.
I think I like it. What is it, 35 blinds effective against the chip leader? Like, seems like the simplest way to play this. And yeah, a little frustrating to burn a hand as nice as ace-queen. One thing I will say, approaching the FT, like just leaning on people with relentless sort of aggression can't be bad either.
Yeah, sure.
And it's not the end of the world to get jammed on, right? Like with ace-queen off.
The interesting thing there as well was the snap all in just kind of reeks of ace-king, doesn't it? So it's an even easier fold.
He's just never going to call, is he?
But yeah, it should be taking a little bit longer than the snap all in.
I'm a fan of Christopher though. He's fun. He's fun to watch,
but
right?
You are you just kind of eliminate aces and kings between range when you do that. You know, it's you do kind of just have.
Well, you never know. Let's see. I hope he gets them and we get to find out.
Yeah, maybe.
I hear you though, 100%. 100%.
But nice snap fold from Modena there.
It never feels great when you see
guys
all in before the chips have hit the felt.
Yeah, he sort of rolled his eyes thinking I should just flat this one breach now.
Now Hashim opens up to 1.7. Myself and Jay were talking about these tricky, 13 left in a major spot. It's hard when you face aggression, but obviously worthy of an open.
I wonder if Modena will take this one. I'd be a big fan of it, to be honest. I feel like it's a good stack to be attacking.
Yeah, it's funny, like the ace-queen I quite like flat, and this one I'm with you, I like 3-bet. We'll see if he continues the aggression.
No.
Out of the way.
I think he probably should have gone for that, to be honest. Maybe the previous hand is.
It's funny, isn't it, how things can be cumulative, yeah. We are still in that pay jump, so players taking their time. Round to Christopher. He's in there, 9-10-0.
Yeah. Does he check blind? Oh, he's pulling out all the moves.
Old school. I wonder if he'd have led. Ace-4 two spades. Pretty good flop in many ways for pocket sixes with one spade.
Yeah. Most players here are just going to see bet. Should be end of hand.
I never quite know what Cristoforo about. I'd be shocked if he continued with this one.
He's done.
Nice bluff. Yeah.
I was saying to Jay before, he's a strange player because he's quite tight in certain spots, but he just does have that, you know, sort of unique factor of you never know what he's quite going to do in certain hands. But yeah, there's a few times he got 3-bet, he definitely should have been peeling, and he just binned it.
It's compelling viewing for us right then off the DTD Live. Kadure on the short stack. Can't fault him here. Pretty unfortunate, in fact. Finds Queen 9 suited on the button, runs into the nines and flops a Queen high flush.
That's all right, isn't it?
How's your luck? 13 left, $1 million up top, and you just flop it.
Not seen much of Kaduri in the past couple of hours.
Yeah, and that's going to seal it. 6 of hearts on the turn.
And he's back in it.
Smolka was looking for the runner boat. Doesn't materialize. Big smiles.
Yeah, I'm loving that.
Only saving grace for Smolka, that his opponent only had 5 million. He's back in the mix. 15 bigs. Back to the Onyx we go. Thaler finds a monster on the button. Ace King of Diamonds. Now then, Cristoforo with a potential candidate. King 10 off in the small.
Yeah, I'd be surprised if he folded this. Does go for 3-bet to 5 million.
I like it. I think it's a little unfortunate. I would size up a bit here against someone like Thaler, who probably finds the appropriate peels.
Yeah.
Very reasonable to go for a 3-bet. Just a shade over 6 bigs.
Tim Chung just noticed snap mucks the 4s and the big blinds as he should be doing. Not a hand you can continue with.
So the question, Warbs, would seem to be between 4-bet non-all-in and jam.
100%.
I mean, you have to, right, against Cristoforo especially.
Yeah, you've just got to give the rope.
Yeah.
To a man who's potentially could just be 5-betting all in with Queen 4 off or something. You know, you've got to give him a chance to make a mistake.
I'm with you for sure. I could see potential for jamming Ace King off, but the suited variety just too strong in my eyes against a wild card opponent.
Yeah.
Against any opponent, to be honest.
I think it's just a really good click. Just like absolute main click.
So what, 9.5?
Yeah.
Something like this?
Because it's, I mean, it's even quite good just to keep in, you know, certain peels.
Right.
You know, if he has 3-bet the King Jack, King Queen or something, or, you know, small race X, he might just peel.
And the times that they rifle in 6s and you lose, so be it, right?
It's just massively tilt if that happens, but yeah. He's going to go for,
I think you take 6 months off playing if that happens.
I regularly do that.
Yeah, he agrees, and I'm a big fan of this. Let's see what he's landed on. It looks like a bit bigger. 11 million?
Yeah, I'd have gone smaller, but I can't begrudge him.
Oh, that's pretty big.
Yeah. It's almost a bit
yeah,
too much,
I'm not a huge fan of this, I have to say.
Yeah.
You know, we're being a little picky, but feels like we may have committed ourselves here.
Yeah, exactly.
What if Cristoforo jams to be 49 million in there?
It's out the door now.
And it'd be 21 to call. You never quite know. I guess when you make it bigger, Warbs, it can look like you're trying to find it, generate folds.
Yeah, I just think it's a really nice spot just to make it the old 9 mil and
sure. Give the illusion of more fold equity.
Exactly, yeah.
Okay, well, surely not now.
Yeah, he's done. He's mentally done.
By the way, if someone does this to me and then jams, I'm like, oh my god, they've got aces. Well done, Thaler. I mean, on the flip side, you're happy enough, right? Picking up
Yeah, and
8 million.
Cristoforo has actually played it really well in the end, hasn't he? It's a good 3-bet spot, and he has got away.
Valor continues to accumulate chips as we creep ever closer to the promised land of the final table. Heredi, after that blind on blind cooler of sorts.
Yeah, these two
Here
again.
we go.
This would be kind of cruel if Big Blind wakes up with a hand as strong as ace-9 off. But no, he's gets it through.
It's a good jam, right? Looks
Yeah.
good. 16
Yeah.
bigs.
Yeah.
Offsuit middling ace. Let's just rip it in. Try and take down the 2 million and rebuild.
Yeah, there's obviously some ICM considerations now with these jumps getting bigger and bigger. I like just a straight up jam there. Back to the DTD live table. Six-handed.
Milad gets.
Oh no, we're going back to Onyx. Thaler with the King Queen of Hearts under the gun 1. More than good enough to be opening.
I will put good money on Jung taking this as a 3-bet.
Yeah, I think so.
Solver approved.
Yeah. On the button, maybe you could flat, but I feel like it's a better 3-bet here.
Oh,
Just fold.
okay.
Fair enough.
I'm so wrong. Never to be invited back again. Hashim then. Jack 9-0 on the button. Everyone just taking a little more time with that 9k pay jump looming, and poor Zhang getting blinded out here. 3.5 bigs. King 10 off.
Yeah, I feel like Tim Chung's very good at reading situations and adjusting. You know what I mean? He's very good at sort of 1 minute 17 left, knowing when to attack, and then the next knowing you need to just be a bit tighter.
Sure.
And
Unfortunately for Zhang, can't really falter 4 bigs against a guy with a big stack. Your hand figures to do okay.
Sure.
Unfortunately, gets it in crushed. In really bad shape. Only 25% equity.
Yeah, we could be down to 12 here.
Yeah, pretty tough to falter here. At some point, you gotta run it, and you can beat some stuff. Not looking great. Through to the ace-8-5 rainbow.
Taylor with the best hand, but in desperate need of a hairbrush. That'll be the first.
It's very windy outside. I don't
outside.
recommend he goes outside at the moment.
Yeah, that's what it is. He's definitely gone outside on break. I'm telling you, that's my read.
7 of clubs turn. Zhang looking to fade, going outside. Needs a 10. One chance.
Just one time. T-shirts say.
Can she find it?
She cannot.
Sadly, the 9 of hearts completes the board. Fabulous run.
Down to 12.
Yeah, 13th out of 1,200 runners. And we do lose Kongya Zhang. $42,000 for her efforts. GG's. One of those that really stings in the moment, Warbs, but you can reflect.
Yeah.
I'm sure in the next week or two and be proud of the run.
It's not easy to come 13th out of 1,196.
Yeah.
Yeah, good for 42,000.
There we go. Up on the screen now. All of the remaining 12. $51,500 locked. 10x.
Pay jump.
10x of the buy-in. Not a bad place to be.
Yeah, 50k is getting juicy now, isn't it? 5k buy-in. Everyone guaranteed at least 50.
Yeah.
Top 7.
It's on your screen, mate. There you go.
Top 7, the 6-figure score, yeah.
You'll have to see it.
You really do.
Ladder's getting substantial now. 9th taking home 63k. 80, 113, 162 for 6th. 229, 316, 440. 635k for 2nd. And we're going to get a $365,000 heads-up match tomorrow. Look forward to it.
Would you take $1 million to never play poker ever again?
Oof. Maybe. I'm getting old.
You're not that old.
I can still commentate and get the thrill vicariously, so maybe I would.
You can still commentate, but you can't play any form of poker for the rest of your life.
Why are you asking me these questions?
I put you in a tough spot, haven't I?
You have put me in a tough spot, in fairness. See, now that I have a 6-month-old son, I feel like I might need to say yes.
Yeah.
Whereas if I didn't, I might just be like, nah, it's all good.
Yeah, you've got to think about someone else now. So yeah, I feel you.
Plus, like $1 million in the modern world. How long is that going to last? About 3 years.
Well, not very long if you keep playing poker, but that's kind of the point.
Right, focus, lads. Already 1.6 million ace-8 of clubs.
Yeah, will Smolka go 3-way here? I'm kind of a bit surprised here. I think you've got to be a bit.
I think that
tighter
Smolka
here, but...
thinks he just has a good edge post.
Yeah, you're probably right.
And, you know, it is the min raise, right? We're getting, what, 5-1 on our money. It's the type of hand where you can connect with the board very strongly, right, and continue or potentially make some tight folds post. But let's see what develops, because he's flopped middle pair.
Yeah, something like a king 6 off. He's probably going to fold.
Yeah, for sure.
Off, he's going to call.
Yeah, already going with c-bet here. It's dicey in my eyes, 3 ways. We are getting to that kind of shallow depth, but can never be a huge mistake to bet small. Do we have an overcard? Backdoor's working. It's about with a hand that would probably like to continue orbs, but we don't close the action. Got Smolka lurking.
Yeah,
tricky.
I think Harwood also maybe thinks.
Oh, hello.
Maybe thinks the button overfolds.
I don't mind this at all from Sabao.
He's cool with the back doors.
And this is the problem that you just referenced. You can get into some tricky pickles.
Yeah, it's tough, isn't it?
Like 3 ways with Heredia just having 12 million behind here. I would favor just letting this go. Let's see what Smolka decides. Is getting an attractive price, of course. 6-1 here to potentially call and ping a 7, but I like this.
Yeah, same. Best hand in the muck, but yeah, I think it's the best play.
Look at this.
A nice turn for both.
Wow. 10 of clubs on the turn. Light the blue touch paper. Nut flush draw for Heredia. Sabao floats and turns second pair.
And is there a world here where Heredia just jams?
I don't think he'll jam, but he might try and line up a triple.
Yeah.
The problem with trying to line up a triple here is that it's a small size turn. You never dislodge a queen. So you're kind of trying to dislodge a 7, of which on the button, you know, maybe some ace-7 suited, 7-8 suited types, 8s, 9s. That's the type of hands we're targeting here, right? Like an ace-5 suited.
Yeah.
If you get jammed on somehow, this is an absolute disaster, obviously. But we do maintain the betting lead, and we can get some hands to fold, so I can see what he's thinking. Massive river upcoming.
Yeah. It's a very hard river bluff, because it does look like he has Queen X now. There's not too many 10X he can have, so you know,
now
on this 3, it's just I think you've got a knuckle.
Yeah, will be thinking to himself, what can I dislodge? Of course, problematic that we block the natural missed flush draws.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, you kind of want Sabao, right, to have ace-jack of clubs here or whatever. If we have, you know, a hand worse than that that is bluffing, this is really tough. I'm with you.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he just gives it up. He's going to be devastated here to see King 10 of spades.
Yeah, I honestly don't think it's. I know it's over pot. I don't think it's the worst play just to jam.
Check jam. What do you reckon?
Check jam also. Yeah, just again, just being so close to the FT.
I hear you for sure. Like you just put Queen Jack, King Queen, even in a really grim spot.
I think it might be the sort of player that could fold Queen Jack.
Okay.
So obviously,
I mean, I think most players are kind of forced to fold Queen Jack. It's pretty nasty.
Potentially, yeah.
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 Not unreasonable, Warbs. What a great result for Sabao. Heredia all of a sudden, after cruising for most of the day, has hit some rocky waters. Back to the Onyx.
I did call the Mr. Beast lookalike earlier, and I've just seen in the chat box a Timu Mr. Beast. Which is pretty brutal.
That is quite brutal. That's an insult, isn't it?
It made me laugh, though.
I mean, I'm getting old, but even I know that Timu is like some bowl knockoff, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Made me chuckle.
Okay. Tim Chung then, ace queen from the hijack over at the Onyx. Round to Thaler, big smiles.
Yeah, he's going to be peeling this one.
Here's one for you. He's got a bit of the Mustafa Knits to him, I think, in the eyes.
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah?
Could be his cousin or something.
Maybe it's him. He's got the disguise on.
That's a little bit of a stretch.
I'm standing by it. Let us know what you think in the chat. He looks like he could be his cousin for sure.
I'll take cousin, yeah.
Honestly, you're so hard to please. Right, Tim, King 7-4, Ace Queen high. Thaler with one of the interesting wraparound combos. Queen 10 with the Queen of Hearts.
Yeah, he's going with check call.
I think this makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, he should be.
Tim's going to have a lot of hands that have to give up. They may not give up on the deuce of diamonds, though. In the world of Hold'em, when the turn card changes nothing and you're the aggressor, often get to unload. We'll see what Chung decides on.
Yeah, I think this will go check quite a lot. Tim beats loads of hands still, which is a product of his sizing on the flop. So I think he will check this one back and make a decision on the river.
Always intriguing these, right?
4.3.
I think I prefer this.
Let's continue. Fair enough.
Like, you just put a 7 in a terrible spot. You put a 4. Like, they both kind of just have to fold. Flush draws, even like the mediocre ones, are kind of forced out of the pot. You stop yourself from getting bluffed.
Yeah, fair enough.
Even like a king's not going to fold, let's be clear. But you start to put pressure on it.
Yeah, he obviously blocks the ace king and king queen as well, doesn't he? So, yeah, fair enough.
Nice hand. Even though not much happened in that hand, kind of an illustration of the class of both players in my eyes. Thaler's in there, right? I'm going to float this. There'll be opportunities, and Tim just recognizing I got the range advantage. Let's put our man to the test. Nice hand from both.
You can definitely define the big blind's range as well a lot more, can't you? By going turn bet.
Here we go, Warbs. Back to DTD Live. Big old pot, 22 million in the middle.
Yeah.
If Sabao can hold here, Ace Jack versus King Queen, he's up to 50 mil.
Yeah, Sabao open cutoff and Kadori just put it in. I need some help. Kings, Queens, and 10s working for him.
Yeah, Jack 9, 8, 2 hearts. The Frenchman looking for help. It's drawing very live and even liver. Max outs turned on the 6 of hearts. 42% with one card to come. 15 outs.
Too many.
Can he find it, the Frenchman?
Too many.
He can. It's the ace of spades on the river. GG, sir. And all of a sudden, Sabao is on a tear. We do lose him in 12th place. Fantastic run.
Yeah, what's he up to now, Sabao?
50 mil.
Wow.
50 million.
That has kind of come out of nowhere in the past.
It really has.
Past 90 minutes, 2 hours.
All right. 2 more to lose for that landmark final table. And look at this. Thaler. This is a bit of a step out, Warbs. Queen 4 of hearts.
Yeah, he's after it. It's always good to attack those, 20, 22, 24 big blind stacks.
It's so tough now for Langer. What can you do?
Yeah, I like it.
Right, and like sometimes you can't just wait for the perfect combos all the time, right?
Sure.
Sometimes, all right, I got a queen. Let's go.
Yeah.
And you just don't expect to really get peeled ever, right? So it's not that important at times. Just lean on your man. MPP main event, day 3, guys. We're in the wee small hours. 11 remaining. Myself, Andrew Hedley, and Steve Warburton in the commentary booth. And we'll take you down to that final table or to the end of the next level, whichever comes sooner. We didn't think we were going to get there, but I think we probably will now.
No, I predicted we'd go down to about 16 players.
Yeah, it's gone quickly.
But Jay assured me that we'd make the FT because he'd crunched the numbers.
Honestly, that guy.
Yeah, little nerd. No, I love Jay.
I mean, I do too, but he's definitely a poker nerd. Let's be real about things. In case. Back we go. DTD Live. Mavro Mustakis, who's also been on a big old tear. Himself and Sabao finding heat at the right time.
He's been playing well.
And all of a sudden, already, everything was going so smoothly, and now we're down to 9 blinds. I like this adjustment, by the way, from Mavro. Into these sort of 9 big blind stacks, just give them a bad price to defend. I mean, obviously, when they have King 7, we wouldn't mind it, but you hear me, you can chase out. Hands that have a lot of equity.
Yeah, it's a good adjustment. Shows he's very aware of the stacks around him, as he should be.
He's got to be feeling on top of the world. Was on the sort of precarious short to mid stack. Now with the big one, as we see Langar. I'm going to try again. Ace-10 of spades from under the gun. Well, Christopher, here he comes.
Goes for it. He's just seen it's worked moments ago.
I'm going to be picky and say that this is too big. You know, against 20 big blinds, you really don't need to go as many as 6. Like when you get shoved on here, you're sort of, in my eyes, just burning an extra million. I think you can go in the realms of, you know, 3.8 to 4 mil and get the same result when your opponent's raise folding.
Yeah, definitely.
Maybe a little harsh, but you hear where I'm coming from. What to do, Warbs, with Langar's hand?
Yeah, it's hard to predict what he will do. I think I'd be more than happy just calling here, to be honest. I know it's quite a big 3-bet.
It's really tricky, isn't it?
But I just think post flop, maybe there are some mistakes in Christopher's game.
Yeah,
he's gonna let it go.
Yeah, like I can actually get behind all 3 options, as rare as that is.
Yeah.
Like we've kind of been given an attractive price almost to jam, right? Because our opponents put 5 million in.
True.
Then again, our hand plays pretty well as a call, but also it's a big proportion of our chips. We do just have ace-10. It's a very tricky spot.
Yeah.
I might just look at Christopher and go, nah, you're at it too much. It's easy for us in the booth, right? We see it.
Yeah, you don't know how much they've seen, do you, of all these hands today?
Now then, Hedley, very reasonable to set the trap here.
Set the trap here with the ladies.
You can certainly see some non-all-in raises here in the modern game, but Mavro Moustakis content to check back with 9-5-0.
I feel like he might just get cool with his hand. So
here we go, and there it is.
Dream spot for him.
Yeah, Hedley really needed something to happen.
Mr. B's 2.0 with a great chance to double, and he has gone for the check.
He finds the check, very nice. Are the stars aligning for that double? These spots always intrigue me. You know, if Hedley does check raise, it already starts to smell a bit in my eyes, right? It's like...
It feels very sort of value-y, doesn't it?
Well, like 10 Jack and Queen Jack, for example, right? Some of the natural kind of like bluffs here, Queen 10s or whatever, if they decided to bump up, they're all in pre-flop.
Yeah, exactly.
All the ace-high diamonds, king-high diamonds, they're all in pre-flop.
Yeah.
So it starts to... Our hand, even though we've got top pair, I mean, this non-all-in click as well, right? It's really hard to start assigning bluffs. Like, I can't really think of a natural one here.
Yeah, I know what you're saying, and he could make some tight folds. I'm not sure he's going to be able to fold top.
Sure,
though.
It's just a horrible spot. Yeah.
Has he just jammed?
He has.
It's worked out perfectly for Hedley.
Yeah, and all of a sudden, 16 million in the middle. Opportunity for Hedley to get back in the hunt. Talking to the rail.
He has played well today.
He's played really well, right? Like it would be harsh to lose him in 11th.
Yeah, I would like to see him double here, but see what happens.
Big moments. Turn and river to come. Has got it in, 82%. Scary turn, 7 of spades, a wry smile. Needs to fade 5, 6s, and 9s.
First bit of emotion we've seen from him.
Does fade it. Big result for Hedley.
Yeah, nice
very
double.
Difficult to begrudge him.
We can't have the final table without Hedley, can we?
Oh, I don't know. Maybe we could.
Surely not.
Hedley holds steady.
Nice.
I'm so sorry.
Nice, I like that.
Sorry to the viewers at home. That was horrendous. In fact, I won't apologize as we see Hedley 16 mil. Smolcon 23, Tomasian the same. Mavro Moustakis still very healthy, just a shade under 41 million in his stack, good for 50 blinds, about on that little tear, shade over 50 mil. Back to the onyx we go. Blind on blind. Modena. Langar will be hoping not to wake up with a strong-ish hand. He doesn't know it yet, but Modena going to be... Oh, this is just a disaster, isn't it?
Yeah, everything gone right for Medina today, I was about to say, and this could be another one.
I mean, we're just so likely to be light here, right, and leaning on our man.
100%, yeah. This is a very clear all-in.
Just a stone cooler.
Yeah, I agree. Oh my God!
What?
Wow.
He didn't falter, just a single open, Langar.
That is absolutely incredible. We've seen some mad hands today.
Wow.
But I've no idea how he's got away from that, because like you say, it's just such a great spot to put pressure on him with all sorts of hands.
Somehow evades disaster as we shoot back to DTD live.
I mean, he can literally get called by worse. Do you know what I mean? He can go all in with ace-9 and just get called by the ace-8 or whatever. It's like, wow, king-queen, whatever.
Yeah.
That is incredible.
I'm perplexed by that one, but it's worked out a treat.
Yeah.
Timing is everything.
Maybe a good read, maybe a sign he wants to make the final table.
And by the way, let's give some credit to Sabao just changing gears here.
Yeah, nice. That's just you just never see that, do you, as well? You just never see that
ace-9
fall with
lay
ace-9.
down.
You just never, ever see that anymore.
You wonder if... Is it like a great read, or are we like are we freezing a little because we're too off the FT and we just want to make it there?
Yeah, I did say it's either a great read or he wants
Right.
to make the FT really. But
Yeah.
even so, ace-9, you know, maybe an ace-2 or ace-4 and things, you can muck them. But
Yeah, we might be being a little unkind, perhaps at a live read of sorts. But yeah, I'm all in, all day and twice on a Sunday.
and if Medina somehow gets fed that information, he should be pretty relentless from the button and the small blind now.
Well, potential big stack versus big stack pot to be played. And it certainly will be getting played. Thaler with King Queen. There's an argument for 3-bet warbs, but you would imagine we just click call, dominate a bunch of the hands that Medina opens, which we can see he does.
You do have to consider ICM here, and you just got to play and flow and peel. You are up against a huge stack. You got a huge stack yourself.
Right. There's no real reason to 3-bet this one in my eyes.
Yeah, agreed.
Jack 10-5 then. Medina does flop best, but very strong draw for Thaler. 2 overcards.
Let's go with check.
And boom,
Ooh.
Broadway just materializing.
It's a nice one. It's a nice one.
And somewhat unfortunate for Thaler in that Modena has a smidgen of showdown. I mean, more than a smidgen, right? Like a pair, of course, in a single raise pot.
Yeah, I like the check. He's going to have a lot of ace highs that he checks back, but he's now going to bet the value on the turn.
Right.
A little bit unlucky that probably is going to go check. Unless he gets a bit creative and now wants to try and bluff off, you know, 10x.
Exactly,
Jack X.
That's it. Okay, he is going to do it. Wow, it's full pot.
Oh, wow, this is a dream spot.
Hello.
Now. This is a dream spot now.
You can see what he's thinking, right?
Yeah,
like,
yeah. He's trying to fold. I just think with the 5 you can just take the.
Yeah, it's one of. It really is where you could go either way.
He's getting a bit greedy, isn't he? He's trying to fold out.
A jack now almost at
Yeah.
this stage. I guess they, in many ways, can become the same hand, right? A jack and a 10.
And there is a bit of a temptation here, you know, to just assume he's full of ace-x heavy hands and check raise here, but you have to check call.
I mean, you should have no raises, right?
You just have to check call. Anything, you know, that he's betting this size with for value, he's definitely going to bet the river, even on a club river, even if it pairs the board, you know what I mean? So you just have to not get greedy almost and just, oh, I don't like it. I don't like it.
14.6.
And I'm not just saying that because I can see the hands, you know, if he has turned aces up, ace 5, ace 10.
I mean, I just don't think people find a check raise bluff.
Yeah.
And that might be being unkind, but the ones...
If you're sitting here as Medina with ace queen, you are hating this because you bet
course you
full
are.
pot and you're getting check raised. It's like, it's so strong.
I mean, in my eyes, the only natural bluffs here are Queen X and King X of clubs. These are the ones that you could find sort of blocking King Queen and just putting max pressure on an ace, or, you know, even like an ace 5 would shrink here, right? Versus this check raise.
Agree. Yeah, agree.
Yeah, Medina doesn't know it, but he's been let off the hook here. Unless he does something crazy. He does block King Queen himself.
It is possible.
Blocks bottom set.
In his head, he's...
Don't do it.
Yeah, in his head for value, he's thinking King Queen, maybe slow played aces, but why would you check raise slow played aces here? So
yeah,
it's a bit of a weird hand.
Just King Queen and the occasional gut shot and flush draw for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, Thaler might reflect on this one later on and think I got a little bit excited.
Sure. But you know, he does have 55 million now, and maybe he just decided that if he does have a big hand, he's not going to fold. I just want to play a huge pot, but I just think so much of his range of bluffs there that you just got to...
Medina's just so aggro as well that I could just see him betting 15 million on this river. Like
100%
yeah, I really can.
Yeah.
Yeah. May look back on that one with a tinge of regret. Heredia then. He's back in the hunt. Stabilized back to 20 blinds. Mavro Moustakis with the option, ace-6.
Yeah, I like fold here, but he could take the spot.
Credit to him, really getting after it.
Yeah, he is.
I gotta say, I'm a fan.
Yep, he's taking the ace blocker. Yeah, I like it.
And like, love the size, and this for me is what can separate really good players from.
We've seen some sort of what's the word, iffy sizings so
far,
far, but
of course we have.
This is perfect sizing versus that.
Gotta give our opinion, Warps.
Of course, that's what we're here for.
Yeah, I think the hands that do raise fold, it's just perfect. They just are gonna have to get out of the way. Already not gonna have many peels.
Gets it done.
Yeah, what a great hour or so for Mavro Moustakis. Everything going swimmingly. If you are just joining, guys, or if you've been here all evening, welcome. Day 3 coverage of the MPP Main Event 2025. If you are watching on any of our channels and want to engage with us in the chat box, please do. We've got them open. Always good to engage with you guys. Let us know who's going to win, who you want to win.
Who are you tipping?
I was about to say, I think it's time to put you on the spot, or put each other on the spot. Let's run this one first while we have a little think, as Mavro Moustakis opens again with the same hand he used to strong effect a moment ago. Lines have gone up, by the way, to 500k, 1 million.
Well, Thaler and Mr. Beast 2.0 I've tipped from, I think, 70 left, so...
Okay, you can have Thaler.
I think I've got to stick with those two.
I'll take Smolka.
Yeah, you did say him earlier as well.
I said, right,
so... Beast, yeah.
Go on then, Smolka and Tim Chung for me.
Oh, yeah.
I'll go with the nerds.
It's a good pick.
I'll go with the theory guys.
Yeah. I'm obviously rooting for Tim. He's a UK reg.
Yeah.
Known him many years.
Modena, right, has been kind of impressive with his aggression. So there's a lot of candidates who can win this tournament. Mavro Moustakis, right, is just smashing it up now. So
yeah. You've got to think as well, if Tim does win this, then I get more money on fantasy football against him next season. So
got to play the long game.
Yeah, come on, Tim Chung.
Yeah, I could honestly see 5 or 6 people taking this one down, and that's a lot of fun for us.
Agreed.
And let's not rule out Hashim.
He's had a lot of big pairs today.
Yeah.
He's played them somewhat unconventionally in certain situations. But this is always nice under the gun. Let's see if he can get some action. He has gone almost 3x.
Yeah. Not a fan of this.
No, it's... Ooh. I mean, Tim's a very astute poker player, and he will realise that this is under the gun, almost 3x. This is not as nice as it looks. He will peel though. You'd imagine.
It's so hard to fold this one. I just don't think we can, even though we're certainly sort of alarm bells faintly ringing.
Sure, I wouldn't be surprised if he does make what kind of looks like a tight fold maybe down these streets and on certain boards based on that the opening size. But
well, here we go. The big test is incoming.
Yeah,
Jack 8-6.
Here's quite a good example. Obviously didn't know this was coming, but yeah, it's a sort of hand that can get you into these spots, and I don't imagine Tim's going to lose a load of chips, but it is quite a big
so
size,
tough. I mean, I kind of like it. Looks like half pot-ish.
Yeah, 3.7.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty perfect in my eyes. Coordinated board. Tim's going to continue with lots of hands.
Yeah, he's very capable of making a big fold though, Tim.
This is a huge test.
I do wonder. He's certainly
I mean, like,
capable
is
of
there
just
an
folding
argument
flop.
that if we're going to check fold this, that we just fold pre, like,
Sure.
right? I do hear where you're coming from.
I mean, it's almost an impossible flop fold. I'm not saying it's by any means standard, but Tim will be very aware of what's happening.
He doesn't know it, but this is a good card for him.
It's a great card, yeah.
Wonder how Hashim proceeds. Chung shouldn't have too many ace-X. Of course,
No.
the natural ones are going to be nut flush draws, the occasional ace-8, ace-6, ace-jack that doesn't fast play.
Yeah.
Queen on the river. And now all of a sudden, Chung's hand really not worth much at all. Kind of hoping we get to see 9s and 10s, Warbs. Does go check, and Hashim shows the winner. You can kind of see there, right, that Chung was feeling it on both pre-flop and on flop. Didn't feel comfy.
Yeah, he kind of knew had to peel pre, had to peel flop, but he definitely wasn't loving it. I feel like on a, say, a deuce turn, he would have just check folded.
I think it's reasonable.
Yeah, with no river jam.
Nice result for Hashim. Up to 28 million. That's a very bunch of stacks. Christoforu and Chung right there alongside him, 30 million realm. Over to the man of the moment on DTD Live, Mavros Moustakis. He's motoring. We've seen Sabao kind of stepping out recently, but gets out of the way, and Smolka finds a real hand, Warbs. Ace Queen on the button.
Yes, he does. Just 21 big blinds. I think I'm just firing this one all in.
I think there's very good reasons to jam this.
Yeah, I agree.
Just this offsuit combo, it's just, you just fold out so many hands, and even if Mavros Moustakis has a hand like this, right? 8s, 9s, they're not loving it.
No way, yeah. I mean,
like 10s is calling you, 8s is real dicey for half your stack.
Yeah, do you think Smolka jams 7s? Maybe not. You know,
yeah, maybe not.
Yeah, so 8s.
He might just peel.
8s is pretty horrible, isn't it?
This is close though against a good player. This
Yeah.
is kind of key moment in this poker tournament.
Almost half his stack to call here.
Well, having said that, right, if you call and win future game, you're up to what? 65 million chance to win the tournament.
You never dominate though, as we've worked out.
Yes.
So it's, you know, flip or you're dominated.
The thing is, Smolka might find the suited ace-X, which becomes a problem.
Do you think?
I think he can.
The ace-5 suited.
I'm not saying he definitely would, but
yeah,
really close. But I like folds.
I like folds.
It makes sense. One of the reasons why jam is so nice here with ace queen, I think.
Yeah, I think it's also nice to just keep 44 million.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? There's so many good spots with 44 million against the shorties and things. I think the fold is fine, and also it shows you why jamming is such a good play.
Yeah, very nicely done from both, I would suggest. So we continue on with 11 left. Gives us a chance to look forward to October once again. The announcement made earlier today, World Series of Poker Super Circuit Series coming to Cyprus for the very first time, Warbs. Pretty excited for it. 9th to the 21st of October. Opportunities are going to be there to qualify online for this one on GG. So look out for the satellite schedule. I'm sure it will be released in the upcoming weeks.
There's a 5K 5 million in there.
Lovely.
Which we love here, don't we?
Yeah, an 18 ring event. So WSOP circuit coming here for the very first time as we hop back over to the Onyx. Modena getting after it.
Yeah, some interesting hands here. You feel like Hashim's going to come along as well. We're going to go three-way. Tim Chung flatting from the small blind playing 30.
Yeah, I'm not shocked to see it.
Yeah, I like it.
Kind of Very ICM aware. Nice to have some strong hands. Medina's going to get really out of line on a lot of boards.
Exactly.
We can have him crushed in some spots. He has the Jack 10 offs of this universe. Look at this, though. Big moments. 7-7-6, 2 clubs. Open ender for Modena.
Yeah, wow. Very interesting hand, potentially developing with 11 left. 50k locked up. 9th plays 63k, which is the next jump.
Yeah, these are always really intriguing. You know, you do feel, well, we have the betting lead. We should have the sort of overpair advantage, but we can see that's not the case with Chung having jacks in the small. Takes a free one. Don't mind the decision.
Yeah, interesting check. I do really like it, yeah.
I'm a fan. Like, if you hit the 5 or 10,
It's
just
just
super disguised nutted hand.
Yeah, exactly. And he's still got a position to win the hand in different ways, such as an ace turn.
Yeah.
I think now it's a must bet on the turn.
It's just really tricky.
You can just have all the ace-x checkbacks.
You can. We have to try and start assigning a range to the small and big.
Sure.
I think Tim can certainly have some suited ace-x
Yeah,
in the
definitely,
small.
Yeah, I think he peels all the suited ace-x.
Yeah, and Hashim can have some 7x, right? Completing from the big, can have some ace-x of his own, but may have elected to announce himself on the turn on occasion. Tim now faces 2 million.
Yeah, it's a very easy call for Tim.
Yeah.
2 into 7.
Never folding this one with the club in hand against an aggressive player.
And like we've been saying, Medina's got to be aware that Tim can definitely have
Right, and it's like
ace-x.
really hard to bluff the river, right, as Modena unimproved.
Yeah.
You would imagine Hashim is going to be out of there. I mean, if he continues here, this would be
Yeah, I'm not sure I like
next level.
I'm not sure I like Medina's turn size, because he can just have clubs as well that he's checked back, but he's not going to bet this size with a turn flush. You wouldn't have thought.
Now then, Queen of Hearts River. Chung hates seeing it. Of course, going to check in flow. It's so hard to find a bluff here.
Yeah.
I think one of the problems is you need Tim to have like 8s through jacks, right, with a club, and we block 8s and 9s, which is not ideal. And now you're essentially bluffing into a range that contains a lot of ace-x and some traps.
Yeah.
Okay, you can get this exact hand to fold. He's going to think it through. We can see that it would probably work.
12. 12 million.
Wow.
He's gone 12.
Found it.
Was he gone 5?
Okay, he's
Or
gone
12?
5.
I think he's gone 12. He's
Oh.
gone 12.
Did Tim just snap that off? He did.
Wow.
Wow. Tim Chung calls in a microsecond.
Incredible. I think it's all because of that turn size. The turn size just was really fishy, wasn't it?
So Tim thinks he's just polarized to a flush and a
Yeah.
bolt, and we have the jack of clubs, which is just huge in this spot.
2 million to 7. It's just kind of like,
Wow,
doesn't really make
though.
sense. But yeah, incredible call from Tim there. I think he did bet 12, didn't he? Just to confirm. He had 5 on the
believe
graphics.
He
But
did. Wow, imagine getting snapped off in a
I know, yeah.
microsecond when you overbet the pot with 11 left.
yeah, amazing.
What a fantastic hand of poker.
He did go 12. Yeah.
Right,
Unreal.
like that jack of clubs, right? So key blocking king jack of clubs and queen jack of clubs, the most
Yeah.
kind of common flush combos.
It was very weird sizing to go 2 into 7 and then all of a sudden 12
Wow.
into 11. But yeah, you've got to.
I
You've gotta be sure
would
if
be
you read
so
it, yeah.
steamed at getting called that fast, by the way.
Yeah, that's
I'd
going
be
to
like-
be incredible confidence boost for
My,
Tim.
my ego would still be on the floor tomorrow morning.
I'm not sure Tim needs a confidence boost, but he's just got one there.
What a hand. And
Incredible, yeah.
back to 50 million.
Incredible snap off.
Yeah, that happened fast. I must say that, like we were referencing it, that I'm not sure this is a good river to bluff. Like, you know, turn and river to bluff twice.
Yeah, the argument obviously is that Tim can just call when he has the ace-x, the better hands. But
Okay.
I think it's just that size on the turn that did it. Maybe we can ask him at some point, but
Very interesting stuff. Right then, let's continue on. DTD Live Table. Tomasian been very quiet the last hour or so. Let's find a real hand. Ace King. Short-handed game. In for the min raise.
Yeah, not seen much of Tamazian in the last couple of hours.
What is going on here?
Is Mavro going to go for this?
I mean, is this a bit of happy tilt, as I like to call it, right? You've been winning every pot.
Yeah. I don't mind it.
Yeah, just going for it, right?
Just going against,
just lean on people.
The 21 big blind stack.
It's a dreamy spot.
Putting pressure on him, assumes he's going to be all in or fold a lot of the time.
Which is definitely true. Dreamy spot for Tomasian.
Yeah, he has to just put this in.
I mean, the best thing in the modern game, you just know you're getting a snap fold a lot, right? And not much in between. They either snap you off or snap fold.
Yeah.
Great pickup. Mavro Moustakis gets his fingers burned a little. It is reasonable though, right? Of course, you got a king in hand. Like, just put him to the test. Oof.
Fingers burnt.
I'm still reeling from that Chung hand.
I mean,
he called faster than the cameraman could
pretty,
swivel over to him.
It's pretty sick with 11 left when the graphics can't keep up with you because you just beat him into the pot, snapped his neck off, whatever you want to call it.
I tell you something, right? When the guy's got aces full there, you just look like an absolute moron. That's a risky strategy.
But even that, it just doesn't make sense. Aces full, does it? It's just
yeah.
Sizings are very important.
Absolutely. As we see Thaler, he's casually moved up to sort of 55 mil. Now Langer's been getting beaten up and does find a very playable king-queen. I like jam here.
Yeah.
He's very unlucky here that Thaler actually has a hand that can call.
Yeah, definitely. He wouldn't be loving the ace-jack so much if we'd have seen the ace-9 fold, but yeah, you've got to flick this in.
A little unfortunate for Langer. He's got 40% equity here. 27 million in the middle. Thaler about to take the chip lead here if he can hold.
Yeah, and we could be down to 10. Just one away from the FT.
Oh, Queen Jack 9. So far, so good for Langer. Vaults in front, 27 million in the middle. Just has to fade aces and jacks. 7 of hearts on the turn. Good so far. 4 outs to dodge once to find that full double.
Queen Jack 9, the goose drank wine.
King of Queen. King of Queen? King of Diamonds on the river just one more time.
Lovely stuff.
Langer.
Great double.
What a time to find a king and a queen.
Yeah, he's been very patient, hasn't he?
Yeah, that'll be frustrating for Thaler, right? We win that, we've got 17 mil all of a sudden. We can try and run over this table until we reach the final. Gonna make him do it the hard way. Back to DTD Live. Open from Tomasian. Mavro Moustakis defending. Flop goes check, check. Tomasian turns to pair and the check mark.
Yep, probably hand over if he does a better turn.
Yeah, don't mind it. Sort of have your opponent drawn dead a lot, right? Just maybe can get them to river some, river a pair. Or get curious on the river when we stab.
They can have all the ace-x though, can't they? I think.
Yeah, I mean, I do recognize, of course, that we might be missing a little value sometimes.
Yeah.
I think with Jack of Diamonds in hand, if you're ever going to check one, like blocking some flush draws is not much to protect against, but I hear where you're at.
Oh, he's gone super small.
Yeah. There you go. Don't mind it. An extra little mil.
Yeah.
Very nice from Tomasian, up to 31 million now.
Question in the chat box, Andrew.
Oh, let's go.
How old is Tim Chung?
Ooh, I should know. Ish.
Looks
I don't know.
Looks about 14.
It looks about 14, but let's have a guess. I'll go 32. What do you reckon? He might be younger, is he?
33.
All right, then.
Yeah.
Google, let's go. Warbs, take us through.
I guess he puts Hashim on the tighter side. We have gone three-way and they've all flopped an ace. It's a very rare thing.
I can tell you, on the 1st of December 2024, it was 35.
Oh, so I win then. I win.
You just did that thing that Dempsey does where you
just
go one
over.
higher. It's very boring. Right.
35
Somehow the
years old.
case ace is hit, so let's be serious.
Yeah.
2.5 million then. C-bet from Hashim. Thaler's going nowhere. And all of a sudden, Christophoru, you're hating this. Yeah, very nice awareness.
He's not loving it, Thaler, but he has to continue. He does beat some.
No, I meant Christophoru with the old.
No, I know. Yeah,
behind.
sorry. I was just saying about Thaler's. Thaler's call on the flop.
Gotcha.
You're not loving it. Neither player likes to see the heart on the turn.
Yeah, for what it's worth, I would favor check from Hashim on the flop. 3 ways, you know, you can just be dead against flop flush.
Agree.
Better ace-x. Don't want to inflate the pot.
Yeah.
Let's see how Thaler navigates this one now. I mean, you would imagine.
You would.
You just check this one, right? We can beat.
You can get a bit tricky and start to try and make him fold ace, queen, and king. But no, I think it's fine just to check.
I think so too. Not thrilled to see. And look at this.
He's got to go bigger than that, though, I think. What's he gone?
He's gone for block.
Yeah.
2.4.
He's kind of trying to rep ace king no heart, isn't he? You know, just.
I mean, maybe though something like ace jack, jack of hearts, not impossible.
Yeah.
It does 2-pair value bet. Thaler's running all these things through his mind. I mean, what would you think? Ace king no heart bets? I can't see it.
I kind of do, just not wanting your opponent to bet, sort of.
Wow!
Yeah.
Hashim, what a gangster!
It's a very annoying size, isn't it?
I'm loving it.
If you bet 3.5, I could get on board with the fold, but just 2.4.
What a legend!
I guess he just thinks, he doesn't bet black queens as a bluff, and he probably doesn't open the smaller aces. He's just somehow made it work. Yeah.
That is a bossy river bet from Hashim.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, things can change fast. Thaler was about to have 70 million, down to the mid-20s. Mavro Moustakis versus Tomasian once again. 9-10 versus 6-4 of spades. As we do see the Russian flop best. 2-pair. Single raise pot. One of the most over c-bet boards in all of the game.
Yeah, hard to navigate these hands. Expecting multiple barrels from Mavro. Moustakis, to use his full name.
Don't bail on the new nickname. You're loving it. It's all good. Yeah, this is tricky. Obviously, feel you can never fold, but you don't love going into check call mode here.
Yeah. He's almost like, you can almost see he's thinking down the streets already, and he's deciding to let it go.
Yeah, and you can kind of see where he's coming from if he thinks.
Yeah, makes it very easy for Bobby Mavro, doesn't it?
Oh dear, we're getting to the delirious time of the night. It's gone from Mavro Moustakis to Mavro to Bobby.
Some of us have been here for 12 hours, mate.
That's true.
So we are a little delirious at this point.
Oh, we've got Mr. Beast 2.0 and Bobby Mavro. The Mediterranean Poker Party 2025. Guys, welcome along. If you are just joining or if you've been here throughout. Quite the broadcast today. We've really enjoyed it. Lots of fascinating hands. We're 2 away from that final table.
The chat asked in that hand with the A7 suited there, he said, was he bluffing or value betting?
No, he's definitely bluffing.
And the reply was value bluff.
Yeah.
I like it.
Kind of is.
Yeah.
I do like it. It's essentially what he was doing.
Sabao here, he's not had much go wrong for him in the past couple of hours. Got an easy open with the ace queen off.
He's just like casually made his way to 56 million without
very casual.
Really doing much, right? We've seen him play a couple of parts.
Very casual guy, I'd say, yeah.
Yeah. Tomasian been like the most aware, I think, that you want to slow it down at this point.
He just wants the FT now, doesn't he? Just
It
wants
makes
to
all the
go
sense in the
home
world,
and,
right? We're like 6-handed, 5-handed. You do not want to pay the blinds and antes often.
Yeah, he just
Little smile.
Just wants to regroup, have a good night's sleep, and come back tomorrow.
Yeah, Heredi, who's had a very rocky last few hours.
I wonder if he'll take this as a jam spot.
No, I don't think so.
You don't think? You think it's always peel?
I mean, I guess you do have some perceived fold equity. More than perceived, right? You certainly should have a good amount of it.
Yeah.
I do think people land on call.
He's very, very competent post flop as well, isn't he?
Sure.
But you know, the 10-9 suited.
Yeah.
In
fairness, I can see it. I think, you know, subconsciously or whatnot, people tend to prefer to have like 15 bigs or whatever to make this jam.
Sure.
Even though in an FT bubble specifically, right? Like Sabao should have all the sort of, you know, king 5 offs of this world and stuff might even start creeping in.
Yeah.
Bad flop.
Sabao's just got the absolute world here.
It's just going to be perceived, of course, to way over c-bet here. But he's finding a little sneaky one.
Yeah, interesting.
I mean, the problem is for Heredi, already now thinking that Sabao has showdown often when he doesn't bet. He does turn a double gutter.
Are you ready for this? I didn't see this coming at all. It's a really interesting candidate to choose. Guess he just perceives Sabao just to have maybe Queen X, maybe some pairs checking back.
I mean, this is...
Thinks he c-bets a lot of Ace X, but yeah, to use the 10-8 of clubs here, I think he's lacking a bit of patience here. I think he's...
I have to say I'm not a big fan of this.
It's a bit too wide, isn't it? Yeah.
We just lack Ace X of our own, right? Do we really lead a flush, for example?
Yeah, and is he just going to fight? I mean, yeah, I think he definitely can. Has he made a straight now, has he?
He has.
He has made a
But
straight.
it's the 4 flush.
It's a crazy turn of events, really. But yeah, I do wonder on a blank non-heart river whether he was gonna fire again. Sabao just has a lot of hearts in his hands, so.
And this is grim.
It is grim now, isn't it? Yeah.
Got to start thinking when the hammer comes down, what type of hands does Sabao turn into a bluff, right? Because that's essentially what we need him to be doing.
Of course.
It needs to be Queen 10, no heart, something like this.
Yeah, I'm just thinking of his value hearts. You know, Ace King, you would assume he'd bet the flop with the King of Hearts.
Although if he's checking Ace Queen, maybe he checks that. I hear you though. You would expect it to c-bet.
Kings with the King of Hearts would definitely play it like this.
Yeah.
King
Oh,
Jack.
and he's gone none all in as well. It's filthy.
Yeah, King Jack with a heart, you'd assume he's just going to bet the flop. King 10 with a King of Hearts is going to bet the flop.
You got to feel for Heredi here. The wheels have kind of started to squeak.
Yeah.
And one of them's fallen off. Let's see if you can keep the other one.
I guess his hand just looks like Queen Jack, Queen 10. Maybe Queen 9 with the Queen of Hearts that he's checked back on the flop, so...
It's hard to see bluffs, right?
Yeah.
I feel like it just has to be like a queen without a heart that now decides to bluff.
Yeah.
Right? All ace-X you would expect to see bet. We're not going to bluff something like a top set.
Yeah,
that check back.
It's such a weird spot to river a straight here.
You feel the pain. We are getting the right price. It feels horrendous.
Yeah, I feel like he's going to flick this one
I
in.
do as well. The frustration.
3.5 to win 14.
He's got no time banks, right? I just recognized, so...
No banks.
Not a lot of time for Heredi. See if he can get away from it.
It's just horrible. Horrible spot this.
Does flick it in.
Okay,
Gonna get the bad news.
Left with just 2.7 million.
Oh, it's painful.
I think the turn there was just a bit of a mistake, really, wasn't it?
You got a feel for him. Things have gone south. As we see Modena pocket sevens. Raising to 2 million over at the Onyx. And Christoforu Well, wow, look, he acts so fast, right? There's no delaying.
Yeah.
And that looks like about 6 million with a bit more. That's a big size in.
7, 8 maybe? 7 million.
7.5. Very large 3-bet size. Starting the hand with 26 blinds.
Feels a bit Jerry Yang, doesn't it?
Kind of does, right?
He used to love the big.
I wonder.
Big 3-bet sizes.
How is Medina going to read into this?
I mean,
oh, he sent it. And look at this. Turbo calls off.
Really don't like the jam, I was about to say.
Oh, wow. And all of a sudden,
I really don't like the jam.
55 million chips in the middle within a microsecond. Medina, who's been cruising, does get it in good. But with only 10 million back, it is a crucial all-in flip.
Maybe Medina a bit frustrated with that jack's hand against Tim Chung. Maybe he was thinking, you know, we're playing 6-handed.
Yeah.
A pair is good here, but just to that size from Cristoforo, I'm just not sure about the jam.
Well, he is holding on the jack 6-5. Cristoforo looking for aces, queens, or backdoor spades. 8 of spades on the turn.
Yeah, maybe he thought it was ace-king heavy or just one of his bluffs that we have seen him do a lot pre-flop, haven't we? But just that size for me was just a bit. Wow. He does hold though.
Wow, finds the hold. Jack of Hearts River.
And just like that, Cristoforo is out. I didn't imagine a final table without him, Andrew. 51,500 for his efforts.
Yeah, you live by the sword, you die by the sword. GG Andreas, you really were box office. Entertained us all the way. Sure, the rest of the players happy to get rid of him. Very tricky, very aggressive. And all of a sudden, Medina gets himself all in for 55 mil and holds with the 7s.
It all happened so fast.
I didn't even have time to set it up.
And he's loving it now, Medina, isn't he? He's back.
Well, here we are, final table bubble. As we see David Smolka, pocket 9s in the cutoff, starting the hand with 20 bigs.
What's going to happen next?
Who knows? Crazy, crazy stuff.
Some great action here. And Tamazian still just seems just so happy just to wait for the final table.
He's so zen.
Yeah.
Doing absolutely the right thing in my eyes. The cards are flying over at the Onyx.
They really are. And
now then,
maybe Heredi might make the FT now.
Oh, I really feel for him. It's been painful to watch.
Yeah, it has. It has.
Just ever since that King 9 of spades hand, Warbs, everything was going so smoothly up till then. Well, hang on.
Yeah,
he's going to run it with a suited king.
Pretty brutal one. We could, if we lose him here, we are down to the final table. There's another jump here from 51k to 63k.
I'll hold the phone because this is interesting for Mavro Mustakis. Recognizing here that Smolka can't reopen, which is kind of intriguing.
Yes, it's going to be tough for Heredi to win this, isn't it? Against two hands instead of one. But if he can find a king here, he would more than treble. He'll be right back in this.
Is he going to be thrown a bone from the poker gods? Queen, queen, 4, 2 diamonds.
Got 34%. You're loving that.
Still alive. Looking for a king or a diamond. Really tricky this for Smolka.
I think you can go ahead and just back.
I think so too. I mean, we're just not going to be bluffing, right? So Mavro knows this. Just out of the way.
Yeah. And already now up to 39%.
Now then.
I'd like to see him hit it. I'd like to see him hit it.
It would be tough to begrudge the man a
Come
little
on, Beastie.
spin.
Beastie 2.0, let's go. King of clubs. No, King of clubs been folded.
We have our final table of the main event for 2025. No kings and no diamonds. We'll see us arrive there. Here we go. 7 of clubs on the turn. No help for Hedley. One last chance. Gets there 1 in 4 times.
Kind of deserves it.
Can't do it. The 5 of spades completes the board.
What a performance, though. He's played fantastic all day.
Yeah, I really feel for Daniel. Great performance. Just 2 or 3 hands down the stretch Warbs did for him.
Yeah, well played, that man. Just very unlucky to just miss out on the FT.
Yeah, hopefully it can look back on the run with pride. I'm sure that one's going to sting for the next couple of days.
No Christoforu, no Hedley. I can't believe it.
Incredible scenes as David Smolka sends us to that final table of 9. And they've made it.
63k locked, $1 million for first.
Oof, made it to the promised land. Now then, DTD live table, this is how we finish up. Razvan Sabau, just very smooth sailing, 66 million chips to take into tomorrow's final. Mavro Mustakis, 34 million for him. Tamazian just took it easy, sat back and let the fireworks unfold. 27.3 million for him. And David Smolka, after dispatching Hedley, 26.3 mil and 26 blinds to take into tomorrow.
Your man Smolka's still in, yeah.
Yeah. Modena, 61.7 million over at the Onyx. Tim Chung, very strong day for him. He's going to go in maybe 3rd in chips overall, 47 million. Langer in there with 40 mil. Thaler, who we were impressed with all day, had some rocky waters towards the end, but he's still in the hunt. And Hassanin Hashim completing that final table lineup with 28 million in chips. Oof, we can take a breath. And look at those payouts tomorrow, folks. 63k locked for all 9, and we're up to 80, 113k, 162, 229, 316 for 4th, 440k for 3rd, 635,000 for 2nd, and the magical $1 million up top. Warbs.
I'm exhausted.
Me too. That was a long monologue. There you go, guys.
Exhausted,
The schedule is completed. Tomorrow, MPP main event final day. Please come and join us. Myself, Steve, and Jay going to be covering it right from the start. So we will be going live 2:30, I believe, local time. So that's 12:30 in the UK. And wherever else you are, hope you enjoyed it today. And that's going to do it for us for the evening. Please come and join us tomorrow, guys, as we play down to the winner of the MPP.
Superb stuff, Andrew.